Do you want to have a go, or are you enjoying
I'm enjoying
being a man of leisure?
I'm enjoying the leisure afternoon.
Back at the dock, the first thing we had to do was remove the broken exhaust elbow and wait for the replacement part to arrive. Luckily, we had plenty to do in the meantime.
We're going to go for a sunset paddle on the newly inflated dinghy. In. Ready? Let's see if I can. Oh la la! Oh, it's so floaty. I need like a cool mariachi, someone to sing you on the. What's that one they sing about, like Maria? Remember on those on those boats in Mexico City? Do you want me to take you for a big spin, or are we just going to go back home?
No, let's go for
Do you want to have a go, or are you enjoying
I'm enjoying
being a man of leisure?
I'm enjoying the leisure afternoon.
Makes me really want to jump in the water. We are about to make our way to the veterinary clinic in town to start Kirra's vincristine treatment for the transmissible venereal tumour, the sexually transmitted tumour. So yeah, she's had the month-long treatment of doxycycline because we identified in her blood test that she had not only Ehrlichia but also anaplasma. She then had a follow-up blood test which shows that those seem to now be gone. She's had a treatment for fleas and ticks because she won't be able to get treatment while she's on the vincristine because it can affect the immune system and things like that. And I have, since we'll be leaving, you know, before her treatment's over, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we shouldn't be here 6 weeks. I have written up a little treatment protocol for Brenda, which includes a little bit of money for blood testing and extra medicine if Kirra needs it, plus some blood tubes, some medications that she might need if she gets nausea. And then I also have the same thing for Kirra's mummy, her human mummy, saying all of the information about the chemotherapy drug. So some of the most important things for Brenda as the veterinarian is to make sure that this drug never, ever, ever gets injected outside of the vein. It is extremely important. If this medicine, chemotherapy, gets outside of the vein, it actually kills the muscle and all of the tissue, and then you get a massive wound that is very hard to treat because it's a wound that almost goes all the way down to the vein, if not all the way to the vein. So that's very important for Brenda, plus some stuff about the scheduling of the drug and what to do with different side effects. And then for Kirra's mummy, the most important things are monitoring her for signs of infection or illness, because obviously chemotherapy has a lot of side effects, which includes suppressing the immune system. Some medicine in case she gets nauseous after her injections, which is not uncommon, but that way she's got the medicine at home if Kirra's not feeling well. And a little bit of information on disposing of urine and feces, because the chemotherapy drugs are often passed in both the feces and urine depending on the drug. So it's just important that, you know, feces is picked up and disposed of, and especially if you've got kids or other animals in the yard, you just don't want them to come in contact with that, because although it might not be very high doses of the drug, it's still obviously not a safe drug for people to come into contact with. So yeah, so today basically we'll be showing Brenda exactly how to give this treatment, and then she'll be continuing for at least 4 weeks, but likely 6 given the size of her tumour. And yeah, it's been a week since her spay surgery, so we should be good to start now. Her body should be very close to being healed. We didn't want to obviously put any more pressure on her immune system until that was all good. So that's the plan. Es un poco más fresco en la marina porque tenemos la presa de la mar.
As you can see, Kirra is a really well-behaved patient, and her body tolerated her first round of chemotherapy well. Only 5 more to go.
Or something.
This is a shitty motor.
I just read it was 2003. I didn't realise it's like 20 years old. And I was like, that's probably why it doesn't work. I thought it was really new.
After taking her for a spin, we noticed the motor was hunting for fuel, speeding up and slowing down at the same throttle position. So we pulled it all apart and gave the carburetor and fuel lines a really good clean.
That's it. Rev it a bit.
With the motor operating about as good as it gets, we set up the new dinghy lifting system, then it was time to move on to the reefing lines.
Out of the hole, around the tree. Through the hole. Let's try and make it nice and tight. Let's find out if these reefing lines are perfecto or too short. I doubt they're going to be too long. Reefing lines are good, so we're going to drop the sail back down. We've been having some problems with our toilet pump. The vacuum and the pump's just not working quite so well. We can't repair this one, unfortunately, because it's been sealed shut in the past, and so the only way to repair it is to break it. So we have a new one we're going to put in today.
Luckily, we stored the spare in an easy-to-reach spot.
Oh.
We changed the inlet and outlet positions to suit our current hose setup.
That's the way we want it to go. Ooh. Man, that's so much easier to pump. Holy. It's those things when you like replace them and then you realize how bad the other one was. Like my biceps are purely from pumping the toilet just about, and now I'm like so we're now about to walk down the ramps to go up to the marina because the tide's so high. How clear it is. That looks safe. One more.
This was the most severe flooding the marina had experienced, other than one time during a tsunami. Sea levels around the world are rising, and this is becoming more and more common, so it's extremely important to care for our environment, or alternatively, buy a boat. After using the kitchen for a week, we quickly realised that the new countertop really needed to be sealed around the edge. We were working in there after dinner so it could dry overnight. The downside to doing this was that we were working in a 97-degree Fahrenheit sauna that had been heated up nicely by the oven. Thanks for watching. You can help us save animals and help the environment by subscribing, giving the video a like, or by becoming a patron for lots of fun extras. Until next time, stay chuffed, everybody.